Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom. Today, Duane Toews visits with representatives from the EPA and U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to explain the new WOTUS rule and how it will affect you. Next up, Akagi brings us the Kansas soybean update. Then Duane Toews talks with Hannah Thomson-Wieman about the Animal Agriculture Alliance and what role it plays in the industry. Next, meet the Bigge family, one of Kansas Farm Bureau's 10 Farm Families of the Year. And to wrap up, it's Plain Talk with Kyle and Duane. It's all coming up on Farm Factor. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
I'm Bob Swartz, and I've devoted the last 43 years to helping Kansans reach their retirement goals and to protect the family farm. At Bob Swartz Financial, we believe everyone should be able to live the retirement they've always dreamed of. Our team of professionals can help you create an efficient strategy using a variety of investment vehicles to help you address your financial needs and your concerns. Bob Swartz Financial values commitment and transparency.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Welcome back to Farm Factor. Up first today, Duane Toews is with Jim Gilliford and Colonel Hannon to explain the new WOTUS rule.
Duane Toews joining once again on the program, an opportunity to talk with a couple of individuals that are instrumental in waters of the U.S. Certainly it impacts agriculture and the citizens of Kansas and across the country as well. We'll start with EPA Region 7 Administrator Jim Gilliford. Jim, we think about really coming back to some common sense of what Congress had hoped to do in terms of protecting water quality, but protecting citizens as well.
Sure, that's the whole point of the Clean Water Act, is to assure water quality across the country, protect the nation's navigable waters. And this new rule, Waters of the U.S. rule, is designed to make sure that our waters are clean, they're navigable, but that the federal government doesn't step beyond its authority in what's authorized by the Clean Water Act in terms of dealing with those water quality protections.
We think about why that's important. Obviously, in a year that we come off of with extreme flooding events, there's a lot of talk about water and how we manage it.
Yeah, yes, there is. And it's obviously the unfortunate nature of those flooding events as well. We're concerned for that, but at the same time, we want to make sure that our waters are protected, but that farmers and ranchers understand what their responsibilities are as well if they're dealing with either the Corps of Engineers or the Environmental Protection Agency in terms of water management. Now we have a rule that's more specific, that it will protect our navigable waters, the tributaries, both the intermittent and perennial streams that feed them, as well as then lakes that are formed as we've dammed up those tributaries.
Talking from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers perspective, William Hannon joins us as well. William, talk a little bit about how the Corps plays a part in this as well.
So what's key for us is working with our partners, EPA, who sets policy, Congress who sets our laws, and really what our regulators do is come to those fair and balanced decisions based on those rules and regulations, and working with all the partners, really at the federal, state, local level, to come to those things that kind of balance economic development, farmers being able to do their job, local landowner requirements, along with our laws and policies of the United States.
To either of you, we think about the realities are that it is everyone's water, and trying to do that in a manner that's fair and equitable, I think, is what most people want, but just making common sense with some science base to it as well.
Sure. One of the things that the Clean Water Act does authorize is the delegation of many of those program responsibilities to our states. And so the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, working with local individuals, USDA, Soil and Water Conservation Districts. There's a lot of people that are there and a lot of agency authorities that help farmers. But the biggest point is that things are clear as to what those responsibilities are, and that the farmer is allowed to make decisions regarding conservation practices and how they manage water on their property.
Speaking to the Corps' play in this as well, I know there's certainly people that were maybe disenfranchised with how some things went with the flooding that we had. The realities are you guys work under a set of guidelines and principles that you must follow as well.
Oh, we do. And, our number one priority in the Kansas City district right now is response to the 2019 flood. It was the longest flood in this region's history, 279 days. And we're still right in the mix of levee rehab along the Missouri River and some of the tributaries. So that's still our number one priority. We're moving a little faster than we did in 1993 in the 2011 floods, but it's still definitely one of our big priorities.
Well, our thanks to Mr. Hannon and Mr. Gulliford joining us on the program. Jamie, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Duane. The Kansas Soybean Update is coming up next. Stay tuned.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
Kansans have a new choice for Medicare supplement insurance plans. With Medicare supplement insurance plans from Kansas Farm Bureau, you have access to 4 levels of coverage, affordable rates, and service from an organization that's served Kansans for more than 100 years. For more information on Kansas Farm Bureau Medicare supplement plans, including rates and to apply, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Caleb Little is joining us, Director of Communications with the National Biodiesel Board. And Caleb, you have had the ability and a lot of success in telling about the success of the biodiesel industry.
Yeah, we have. There's always something going on in biodiesel. Despite some challenges on some of the policy issues, we've had really great years and had a lot of really good successes from the environmental side to new fleets announcing their use of biodiesel. We put together a brand new website this year that helps get the information out. And
that ability to see that, and especially in these major metropolitan areas.
Yeah, so for those fleets, it's really easy. They want a cleaner, more environmentally sound product, more sustainable. And for them, they use so much diesel fuel in their equipment, heavy trucks, snow plows, garbage trucks, all those kinds of things. Anything you can think of, a city has those vehicles in their fleet. And for their users, it's turnkey. It's as easy as just using their regular petroleum diesel that they've done now. So from a user standpoint, it's so simple. Biodiesel is an easy choice.
The quality of the product as well, just constant improvements on getting that better quality biodiesel product out there too.
As the industry goes, the fuel quality standards have improved. Our producers have gotten bigger and better and more efficient. The ASTM standards that we've put in place for biodiesel, with the help of the Soybean Checkoff and their funding and research support, you can ensure that when you pull up to a pump and you get biodiesel at a retail station, it's going to work in your engine.
You talked about the website, brand new website, more information out there as well.
A big part of what we do is that education and outreach, just talking about about the fuel, making it easier, increase awareness, makes it easier for our producers to go doing what they do and creating more fuel and more sustainable fuel options. And so a big part of that is online. So we have over 1 million page views a year on our information sources, biodiesel.org and nbb.org, the association site. And so it was time to bring some new technology to that, make it a little more streamlined, easier to use, easier to get that information out about the product. Soybean farmers essentially created the biodiesel industry back in the early 1990s to have a way to find some industrial use for soybean oil, because there was such a glut. There's so much soybean oil on the market that they saw the opportunity and invested in the industry. And soybean farmers still support the National Biodiesel Board with checkoff dollars for research and education and promotion and those kinds of things. So we wouldn't be a nearly 3 billion gallon a year industry without the help and support of soybean farmers.
That is Caleb Little, Director of Communications with the National Biodiesel Board. He joins us on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
After the break, we'll learn about the Animal Agriculture Alliance and its role in the industry.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer it and work with you.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about umbrella coverage. Did you know that if your cattle get out, you could be held liable for that? Call me. Let's have a discussion. 316-945-6733.
This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back. Let's go to Duane Toews, who is talking with Hannah Thomson-Wieman about the Animal Agriculture Alliance.
Duane Toews joining you once again with Ag AM in Kansas, and an opportunity to catch up with Hannah Thomson-Wieman with the Animal Agriculture Alliance. So we'll get it right yet. Hannah, talking about your job and what the Alliance does. Certainly it's a different world than it was 20 years ago when we turned terms of activism, animal welfare, animal rights, and differentiating between those. Talk a little about the organization and what you hope to accomplish.
The Alliance has been around since 1987, and in those 3 decades, we have seen a lot of different things happen in terms of consumer perception of animal agriculture, in terms of activism. Our role at the Alliance is to bridge the communication gap between farm to fork. We bring together everyone in animal agriculture, from farmers and ranchers to associations to companies, so that we can speak with a united voice on behalf of the industry on issues that impact all of us. We have the full spectrum of folks involved, covering every segment of animal agriculture, from the crop side, that's obviously very important to animal feed, animal health, again, the commodities themselves, and that's who we work to bring together so we can talk about issues and figure out how we can all work collaboratively for the better of the industry as a whole. Our primary issue has been from the start animal welfare. So how are animals raised? What do consumers know? What do they understand about animal care on farms? More and more today, however, we're pulled in a few different directions, as there are a couple other hot button issues really heating up. As part of animal welfare is the conversation around responsible antibiotic use. So how are antibiotics used on farms? How does that impact food safety, human health? And then over the past few years, sustainability has been increasingly important. So the environmental impact of animal agriculture, do people understand what it actually is? It tends to get exaggerated debated quite a bit, and activist groups will call for people to eliminate meat, dairy, and eggs from their diet in order to save the planet. And as part of that, there's some arguments made about the nutritional value of these products. So those are a few of the hot issues that we work on, and we just want to make sure that consumers and influencers have balanced and accurate information as they make decisions about what they're going to feed their families.
Talking about that, you referenced balanced and accurate information. I think from the majority of people in agriculture perspective, we just like to see some sound science utilized in making these decisions.
Agriculture is a very scientifically based industry, and we do have science on our side, but something that we can't forget is the emotional connection that people have with their food. It's not just about the science anymore. People take for granted. They know their food is going to be safe. They know it's going to be affordable and available to them. So they're kind of taking their relationship with food and farming to a higher level. They want to know how it was grown, how it was produced. Does that align with their values? So for us in agriculture, it means we have to go beyond the science. Of course, we want to make sure everything we say has a basis in science, is supported by science, but we need to make sure we're finding shared values with our consumers and reassuring them that our products are responsibly produced, they're safe and ethical to consume, and they can be a part of their balanced and healthy diet. We've got to make sure we're reaching people as people on a personal level versus just throwing statistics out there.
You talk about that personal connection. More producers in agriculture all the time are trying to make that connection. Some are more comfortable in doing that than others, but you guys have some outreach tools as well.
We feel at the Alliance that communication, I know it isn't really part of your daily job or your job description as a farmer. It's probably not why you got into farming. But if you want to ensure your freedom to operate, that you still have customers who are confident in buying your product, you have to be part of this conversation and step up and be present in your community, whether that's through in-person engagement or doing things online, because your voice as a farmer and rancher who's actually on the front lines of this, it resonates so much more with consumers and is so very trusted, even in comparison to an organization like the Alliance. So we do a lot of work to try to empower everyone from college agriculture students through our College Aggies Online Scholarship Program that's been around quite a while, to a new initiative we're launching called Animal Ag Allies. That program will be in place to help farmers and ranchers who are interested in doing this. They've already started making some efforts in this area, but really could use some help taking their outreach to the next level. It'll involve some online training modules and then an ongoing discussion forum where we can support one another, brainstorm, share ideas, and share resources so we can all be part of this conversation together.
And you've got a great website resource as well.
We actually just launched a brand new redesign of our website, so we put a lot of our resources much more easily in the hands of both curious consumers and farmers and ag advocates who want to be part of some of these conversations. Our website is at animalagalliance.org, and it has everything from resources on sustainability, animal welfare, those type of hot topics, and also some resources to help the industry understand activism. While we need to focus on our consumer and that movable middle, we can't neglect to pay attention to the extreme voices out there and the impact they're trying to have on our industry. So our website, animalagalliance.org, really covers that whole spectrum and has a lot of very useful resources for everyone from farmers to grocery shoppers.
All right, thanks to Hannah with the Animal Ag Alliance joining us on Ag AM in Kansas. Jamie, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Duane. Come back after the break and meet the Bigge family, one of Kansas Farm Bureau's Farm Families of the Year.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Kansas Farm Bureau has served farm families in rural Kansas for more than 100 years. We're pleased to offer new health care coverage choices for Kansans in 2020 through Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. No matter what stage of life you're in, we'll have options that fit your lifestyle. Plus, our network of providers is one of the largest available throughout the state of Kansas and beyond. For more information, including the different plans available, or to get a quote, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Farm Bureau Update.
Stephen and Melissa Bigge own Bigge Land and Cattle. Their diversified farm consists of 220 head of spring calving cows on 2,800 acres of grass. They also grow sorghum, soybeans, corn, wheat, and alfalfa on 1,600 acres. Stephen and Melissa understand what it means to be Farm Bureau proud. As president of Rooks County Farm Bureau, Stephen played an integral role in implementing the Bushels for Backpacks program, which received an award for excellence from American Farm Bureau Federation. Melissa has been active at the state level through her job at the Nutrients for Life Foundation. She has attended the KFB annual meeting the past 3 years and has provided county coordinators free lesson plans to teach students about the importance of healthy soil. The couple is highly involved in their community. Stephen is serving his 3rd year on the Kansas Sorghum Commission Board, and Melissa is a volunteer for the Rooks County 4-H Horse Project. She has also partnered with Agriland at the Kansas State Fair and the Kansas Food Connection. Stephen and Melissa have always appreciated Kansas Farm Bureau putting the importance of farmers telling their story at the forefront.
Stay with us. We'll be back after the break with Plain Talk.
Clyde Sutton, Nest City, Kansas. Lived on this place all my life. About a year and a half ago, got to where I couldn't saddle a horse. The pain was terrible. Read about stem cell. First it wasn't for me, then they started doing neck and back. Went and had it done. As you can see, I saddled a horse. I'm still building fence. Love to shoot a shotgun rifle, and I'm able to participate, not like I used to, but nevertheless I can do the things I used to do, and life is good.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about umbrella coverage. Did you know that if you're held liable in any type of accident, the judgment can claim your assets? Please give me a call so we can discuss. 316-945-6733.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Supply. This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Let us help feed your family.
Welcome back. It's time for some Plain Talk. Let's join Kyle Bauer and Duane Toews.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Plain Talk
with Duane Toews. Kyle Bauer, you know how fond I am of typing.
Yes.
The keyboard is my friend.
Yeah, you'll do it for hours just to type your own name.
There's only one state in the United States where you can type the entire name of the state
with one hand.
With one line of keys.
Oh, one line.
Facts.
I can't even tell you what's on each line. I'm a pretty good typer, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
And yet I can't even tell you what letters are on.
It's kind of like getting one of those social media posts where they put it upside down and backwards. If you can read this, you're really smart.
It's
like reading Kyle's email.
Exactly.
I pass every one of those.
The one that always gets me on Facebook is like, it's a whole thing of sixes. And if you can find the 9, no, it's a 9. If you can find the 9, you're like the smartest person in the whole world. And it's, right there's a 9. It's it made me feel good about myself.
Left, center.
Thank you for sending me that every day.
Bottom coordinate.
Yeah, exactly.
One state.
One, and I just have to name the state? No, they're a true fact or fiction. There's only one. I'll go true.
It is true.
Hawaii.
No.
No, I couldn't.
It's Alaska.
Alaska.
That's using a QWERTY keyboard.
As compared to a?
I don't know.
You don't know with any other kind.
I don't type, but so I looked at the keyboard.
Well, as compared to a Russian one.
I figured it out really quickly.
Okay.
A QWERTY keyboard is
That's the letters in the
first letters on the top row.
I'll be darned.
Your left hand
QWERTY. That's
one hand for upper. In other words, upper left-hand corner of letters. That's QWERTY.
QWERTY. QWERTY.
Well, I learned something right there, and I wasn't even listening to the show.
Not quirky.
Yes,
like me. QWERTY.
Okay, this is most income diverse states.
Income diverse.
In other words, most ways you can earn a living.
Oh, lots of different jobs.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I'll give you number one because you gave it to me. Alaska.
Really?
Alaska is the most diverse state.
I wouldn't have come up with that in 49 tries.
Well, okay.
I mean,
first of all, okay, gold.
I can hunt for gold.
Exactly. I was going to say gold miner.
I can hunt for fish.
You can hunt for hunting.
I can hunt for a hunter. Bounty hunter. I would have never got Alaska.
Yeah. Well, and so now, but I want you to name the rest of the number 49 in order. Or you can tell me the last one or two or three.
Descending or ascending.
Any of them in the
order.
top five or any of them in the bottom five? Okay, and I think the reason I threw Alaska,
Montana.
I gave Alaska. Now you're missing it.
Oh.
Okay, I gave you Alaska because I thought that might give you an idea of the, if you're going to be most diverse, you can't probably be in Kansas.
No.
Right. But you think Mississippi, because you could be a tugboat captain. Did you say Mississippi?
No, I said Montana.
Oh, you said
I was thinking
Montana.
the other end, though. I mean the bottom five.
Right.
In the bottom five.
Okay.
Montana's not in the bottom five?
Well, it's not in the bottom five, but it doesn't mean it's not in the bottom six.
I'm thinking a number of people. Of course, you still need the same basic services in Montana or Kansas.
Okay.
I mean, you need your doctors, you need your lawyers, you need your gas
so then,
pump.
let's talk about if you only had one season, you wouldn't need snowplow operator. Well, or you would, I guess, but there's nobody that needs a snowplow operator year round. I'm just trying to think why.
Well, like the coast, the deep south, the southern states wouldn't have much winter.
Right.
So does that eliminate a bunch of jobs? Or does that allow them more jobs because things can continue to go when up north they slow down?
No, we're running out of time. But let me give you the top five. Alaska, New Hampshire, Hawaii, Maryland, and Virginia. Now, all those are on the ocean.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the bottom, Mississippi, West Virginia, Arkansas, Alabama, and Louisiana.
Those folks are on the bottom five of a lot of lists.
Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. See you next week on Farm Factor.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
In 1821, a trade route was opened from Missouri in the United States across prairies and mountains to Mexico. In 2021, we will mark 200 years of epic conflicts and grand adventures, larger-than-life personalities, and sweeping landscapes. Join us on an historic journey. The Santa Fe Trail lives on.
Find us on social media or santafetrail.org.